Good morning, this is Danny Bundy and the Search for the Butterfly, Chapter 7. As Danny began walking back toward the stump, Lady Sue jumping from branch to branch overhead, he saw a big black crow cawing near where he had left Bernie. Oh no, Bernie was in trouble. Hey, Danny shouted, you leave him alone. Terrified, he ran back toward the stump. He shouldn't have left Bernie alone, not even for a second. Far from his brook home, the bullfrog was in far too much danger. Danny felt like he might cry. The craw clawed at the base of the stump. Bernie was going to be his lunch. All of a sudden, from his left, Danny saw a flash of orange-gray fur drop from the treetops. It was Lady Sue. She landed right on the back of the startled crow and dug her teeth into his left wing. The crow never saw her coming. He let out a blood-curdling caw of pain and surprise, flinging his wings up high. The squirrel held on tightly, and she and the crow tussled on the ground as she fought to keep him away from Bernie. Here's a picture of the crow and Lady Sue. She's so brave, Danny thought admiringly. The crow was bigger than she was. He arrived at the stump to see half a dozen crow feathers lying on the ground, but finally the crow found his footing. He hopped back up to the stump. Lady Sue at last had lost her grip, but not without pulling out one or two more feathers, one in each tightly curled paw. The crow squawked down into her face and took flight. Circling to climb into the sky, it shouted back at Danny and Lady Sue, I'll be back, you two, and I won't be alone. You watch your back because you won't hear us coming. Caw, caw, caw. The crow's injured squawks faded into the distance as he flew up and over the trees to escape. Whoa, that was a close one, Bernie said, crawling out from under the stump. He hopped and climbed to the top. Another few seconds and I would have been a bullfrog a la carte. Danny wiped his eyes. I'm so sorry, Bernie, he said. I should have watched out for that crow. Bernie shook himself to remove the dirt from underneath the stump. Not your fault, kid, he said, unruffled. Not your fault. I distinctly said owls and hawks. I totally forgot about those mangy, crafty crows. I tell ya, they're the worst because you never hear 'em coming. 1 minute my buddy's chewing the fat next to me, then whoosh, he's gone. Nothing left but a shadow riding into the sun. I've lost a lot of friends to those guys. Nasty, but I guess they have a place around here, just like the rest of us. Bernie looked around and saw the squirrel nearby, dusting herself off from the fight. He smiled wider than Danny had seen yet. Well, how you doing, Lady Sue? I've had better days, Bernie. I've had better days, Lady Sue answered, flicking an ear with a kind exasperation. I wanted to see you again, but not like this. Don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Sue. Thanks. Do I owe you one? Not a chance, Lady Sue grinned. Don't you remember down by the creek last year? You would have been eaten by that trout if I hadn't chucked that rock in its mouth. You owe me too, old friend. Bernie the bullfrog looked embarrassed. Of course, I remember, my dear. I wasn't swimming too fast that day. I guess I do owe you too. And that's the end of Chapter 7. And we'll read Chapter 8 real soon. Take care.